In this video we're going to take a look at and install the low profile BAGZ from Custom Dynamics. Hey everybody, I'm Andrew. This is my YouTube channel Touring Midwest, and if you're interested in the low profile BAGZ from Custom Dynamics, I'm going to show you what's in the packaging and we're going to get them installed on the bike. Now, if you just stumbled upon this video and you're just kind of wondering what are Custom Dynamics low profile BAGZ, it's going to be those little LED light strips that go across the top of the back side of your saddlebag. And you'll see that as soon as I get the packaging open and all that. So starting off in the package, we have this little vial of primer with a Q-tip and a lot of hazard warnings on the little instruction book in here. This is going to be what you use after you clean the surface. You're going to use this primer to prepare it for the 3M adhesive. You have your install instructions, which Custom Dynamics always does a pretty nice job on their install instructions. Some zip ties and these little sticky pads. This is going to help you when you're routing your wires from the saddlebag to your battery. Coming up next, we've got your saddlebag LED bags, low profile, very thin. This is really cool. I think these are going to be really good. I went with the smoked. You can get red or smoked, but I just thought since my bike is blue, the smoked would just kind of disappear when it's not being used, and then when I do need them, when the lights are on, they're going to shine up nice and bright. You've got your wiring harness right here, and then your other bag. Well, the first thing we're going to want to do is remove the seat from the motorcycle, and we'll get into that right now. What you're going to want to do first is open your tour pack. If you don't have a tour pack, then you can skip this step. And then just lift up this flap right here, and then you can easily access this screw. Once that screw is removed, pop open your saddlebag on either side and remove the screw that is holding your seat strap on. And then I always just replace the screw so I don't lose it. After you've done that, you can remove your seat. Just lift it up a little bit, slide it back, and you're good to go. Now you'll have access to your wiring harnesses. I already have the Magic Strobe kit installed from Custom Dynamics. If you don't have that, your setup's going to look a little bit different than this. Basically, you will have this plug-in here will be plugged into this plug-in here, just straight across the bike. All of these extra wires and this module is for the Magic Strobe kit and for my Pro Beam fillers that I have between the saddlebag and the fenders. Alright, our next step is going to be to figure out where exactly we want to put these on the bike. They should be just a couple millimeters below where the bottom of your saddlebag lid meets your saddlebag. Now the way to tell which side is which is you want to have your wiring towards the inside of your saddlebag, and it's kind of at an angle here, the light is. So you can easily tell which side of the saddlebag it goes on, because when you hold it up against it, it should lay flat. So the instructions suggest that once you get the lights lined up where you want them, you mark them with a grease pencil. I don't have a grease pencil, I don't think, so I'm going to do things just a little bit differently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean and prep the area where I want them, and then I'm just going to stick them on where I want them and not have to worry about it. So I'm just going to pop the bags open on each side, hit it with a little bit of spray cleaner and polish, clean up the area real nice. I'm just going to let that dry for a couple seconds. So now it's very important that you use the primer that they send with to prepare the surface for the 3M adhesive tape. So again, we know because we read the instructions that we want the lights to be just a couple of millimeters below the bottom of the saddlebag lid. So we can hold our light up there again, kind of get a feel for where you want it. Make sure that if you push down on your saddlebag lid, it's not going to bump the light. And we know we want it right there, so I'm just going to kind of put some primer right along this area. And then we're just going to let that dry for 1 to 2 minutes. And repeat on the other side. So now that a couple of minutes have passed and that primer's had a chance to set up and dry a little bit, we can actually go ahead and install our bag lights. Once you get them on, you're just going to want to make sure that you push firmly all the way across to make sure that that tape sets. Did get this one a bit crooked, so if it's super noticeable, I'm probably going to have to take it off, get some new double-sided tape, and redo it. But for now, I'm just going to roll with it. Your next step is going to be to remove the saddlebags from the bike. I use the saddlebag bolt kit from Rick Rack to secure my bags. You should be sure that you have a soft surface to place your bags on when you remove them so they don't get scratched up. So once your bags are removed from your motorcycle, your bags are going to be filthy back here, because how often do you clean these? I'm going to hit these with some spray cleaner and polish. So once your saddlebag is nice and clean, you're going to want to take some alcohol and wipe down the spots where you're going to put the wire holders. You're going to use 3 wire holders on each saddlebag. And then once again, use your primer. Alright, so now that that primer has had a couple minutes to dry, we're just going to apply our wire holders. Just peel the backing off and stick it on. And then with a side cutter, simply clip the excess. Alright, so you're going to want to repeat the same thing to your Wow. Alright, so you're going to want to repeat the same thing for your other saddlebag, and then put your saddlebags back on, and we'll move back to the battery compartment area. Take note that the wire harness that comes from the LED bags has a quick release at this end. So when you need to remove your saddlebag from your bike, you can simply unplug it from this quick release instead of having to disconnect it from underneath your seat. The super nice part about this is, and most of Custom Dynamics stuff, it's all plug and play. So the hardest part of our project is over. This is going to go very quickly. Okay, so make sure you've got both ends of your BAGZ lights right here. And assuming that you don't have the Magic Strobe kit or the fillers, like I said, this will just be one wire harness from here to here, this section here, so unplug those. If you do have all of this wire harness going on, what you want to make sure, because you're going to want your bags to go through the Magic Strobes as well, you need to make sure that you tie this in after the Magic Strobe module. So your main wire harness comes from the left side of your motorcycle. So you're going to want to plug into the right side of your motorcycle, which goes to your tail lights. So all this stuff is after the Magic Strobes. Magic Strobes, fillers, tail light. So I'm just going to plug this in at the very end of the system here. And it should only plug in one way. Just that easy. Wiring harnesses are color coordinated, so if you follow that, you won't have any issue making sure you get the left and right plugged in correctly for your signals. We take the right and it has the brown wire. The left has the purple wire. So brown goes to brown. Purple goes to purple. Just that easy. Now you're all set. All we got to do is clean up this wire mess a little bit. Let's see. This is always a little bit tricky because you want to make sure you can get your seat on once you got these Magic Strobes and all these wiring harnesses going in here. And I've got lights and everything else. So I'm just going to try and tie this up a bit. Alright, so that's it for the install. Now it's very important that we do the BCM Sync. What you do is turn the key on, turn your hazards on, turn the key off. Allow your hazards to flash for 3 to 4 minutes, and then turn the key on, turn the hazards off, turn the key off. Alright, well, it's been about 4 minutes, so we can finish this BCM Sync procedure. The instructions actually tell you to put the seat back on before you do the BCM. I mean, that's just the order they've got it in. But I always wait till afterwards because I want to make sure that everything works right, the signal lights and brake lights and all that. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure all of that works right now, and then I'll put the seat on last. Alright, so that is it. What do you guys think? Let me know. Is this something you're going to be interested in ordering? I've got a link down in the description if you are. And then let me know, is it just for looks, or is there safety in mind when you're considering ordering something like this? Or I'm super happy about it. I think a really nice feature about it is having those bags makes the bike appear larger when you're riding at night. There's more light all the way across the bike instead of just a narrow row of lights in the center of the bike. So that is another added bonus feature, safety feature kind of thing. That's gonna do it. I gotta put the seat back on, get the bike put back together, and then all that's left to do is ride. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative or helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the little bell right next to it. It's not going to cost you a thing, but it's going to keep you up to date and notified every time I upload a new video or go live. And you don't want to miss that. You can also subscribe by hitting the Touring Midwest icon right here. And if you'd like to check out another video of mine, there's one here. And here's a video that YouTube thinks you might like. Other than that, you guys stay safe out there as always, and I will catch you in the next video from Touring Midwest.